Our next story is from Walt Bones of Chancellor, South Dakota. Please help me welcome him to the stage.
When Walt Bones is asked to serve, he says yes. From serving as a grade school basketball coach to serving on the Parker School Board and on every agricultural board in South Dakota, and even as South Dakota's Secretary of Agriculture, Bones has been a humble servant leader, one who listens before he speaks. Internationally, he has traveled to China, Ethiopia, Uganda, and Kenya as an agricultural leader to assist farmers. He rises up to serve his fellow farmers in times of crisis and distress. He has promoted the stress hotline for farmers and ranchers, letting his friends know they can reach out for help. Bones is a natural teacher and loves sharing his knowledge of agriculture with others.
Wow. That guy that you saw up there is a reflection and a product of so many of you that are in this room tonight that built on a strong foundation from my family. Faith, family, and relationships, I still think, have an amazing place in our society today. So first, a few well-deserved thank yous, and then maybe a recap of some lessons learned along the way. My standing here is a testament of what we can accomplish. Thank you to my mom and dad who instilled in us the value of hard work and that showed us that public service should be held in very high esteem. Thank you to my wife, Jan. After we got married, she worked her way up to be one of the prominent interior decorators out of Donahue Furniture there in Sioux Falls, and she gave it all up to come home and raise our kids. She did an amazing job, and if she can put up with me for another 6 months, we will celebrate our 50th wedding anniversary here in March. Love you, dear, and would not be here without you, believe me. One of the most heartwarming and probably gratifying experiences that we can all have is to watch your kids grow up. I am so proud of your professional successes, your community engagements, the choices you have made, especially with the spouses that you've picked, and we so appreciate the 5 amazing grandkids that you are parenting. So thank you for putting up with me as well. And then, I am so blessed with some outstanding siblings and their families, and they're all back there. You have enriched me. You have mentored me, you've supported me, you've inspired me, you've guided me, you've challenged me, and you've allowed me to grow with you. I hope you can see that I am so proud of not only what we have accomplished, but what each and every one of you have accomplished on your own as civilian servants. I really wish I had the time, ladies and gentlemen, to go into each and every one of them and tell you how amazing they all are. But I am so blessed. And so without this, none of this happens. And I'll be eternally and profoundly grateful for all the support and the love that you've given me, guys. Thank you. My other family members, yeah, please. My other family members are here. Billy, Monty, Stuart, part of my farm family. When I had to go, guess who picks up the pieces? My Sodaro family is represented, my Avera family, my Kingdom Capital family, my Groundworks Ag in the Classroom family, my South Dakota Department of Ag family is here, plus neighbors, lifelong friends, and you're all like family to me as well. Each of you has shaped me in some way and made me what I am today. And again, thank you. And even though they could not be here tonight, thanks to Jim Wooster and Robin Prunty for the nomination and advocating for my selection. They had the chore of going out and finding 4 people that would write nice things in a support letter, and Don Norton was one of those. Thank you, Don. Appreciate that. And of course, thank you to the Hall of Fame Board of Directors, staff, Lori, especially Janan, Michelle. What you're doing here to preserve and promote this shrine of accomplishment is important and has real value. So briefly, in no particular order, some lessons learned along the way. From the Bible in Ephesians, you can't do God's work without God's blessings. From the JCs, it is your attitude, not your aptitude, that will determine your final altitude. Henry Ford said, if you think you can or you can't, you're right. And when attitude is gratitude, life changes. You can make a difference. If not you, who? And if you're not at the table, you're probably on the menu. Everyone has value. Do not judge a book by its cover. I learned that first in JC's with a young gentleman by the name of Keith Harvey. I did not learn the lesson very well because when I got to Pierre, I heard that Miss America was the chairman of the Senate Ag Committee. I thought, really? It took about 2 seconds for Chantel's passion and her knowledge of agriculture to show me again I should not judge a book by the cover. And she was up here last year as one of your inductees. You can always find what you look for. If you want to find the good in a person or a situation, you'll find it. If you look for the negative, you'll find that too. The choice is ours. The first casualty of emotion is reason, and diversity is a strength. The more you give, the more you get. But try as you might, you'll never outgive God. Anne Frank said no one became poor by giving. At my Iowa State orientation, don't ever let your studies interfere with your education. Don't ever underestimate the impact you have on others. And from Charlie Arnott, science tells us that we can, but it's society that will tell us if we can. And finally, in this life, it's not about me. Congratulations to my fellow inductees. I am honored to join you, my dad, and all the other worthy members of the South Dakota Hall of Fame. I have been blessed beyond belief by all of you. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much for those words of wisdom. I don't know if anyone else caught, he didn't really say anything about himself. I think that speaks to Walt pretty well.